I don't think Lavar Ball quite understands. He's not going to get a job in the NBA as a coach. That is, it's just not going to happen.
It's a young samurai, I smoke a spliff in the cut, then I pass a lot to my bro. No fuck with my flow. Couple bad bitches in a cup of that Joe. So it's just THC.
BBN, Jack Frost, what's up, party people? Hey, before the video even continue, hit that like button, subscribe, and join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. Alright, so recently, LeVar Ball, who just speaks way too much, I don't know what his problem is, he came out and he said that he believes that Luke Walton is losing the locker room. Okay, so I have a couple of issues with this. The first issue I have is, hasn't LeVar Ball been like all over the world taking his sons to, whatever country they're going to play basketball in, Lithuania or something like that? Wherever they're going. And then, he's over here, he's over there, he's doing all this different stuff. Who's he speaking to in the locker room that's telling him this? That's what I want to know. Because if he's really speaking to Lonzo, and Lonzo is really telling him this, yo, man, Luke Walton is losing the locker room. And then he comes out and publicly makes this address. No, that's an issue. That's an issue. I mean, because you got to think about it like this. What is anybody going to think? I mean, those are, that's the path. Where could where could LeVar possibly know this? How could he possibly, if any of this is true, how could he possibly know this? Now, if you deal with the organization, and if you're in the organization, like you're the president of the organization, or let's say you're not even in the organization, you're on another team and you're a coach, you could tell if a coach, an opposing coach, is losing their locker room. Like, you can tell. So if this is something that's really sincerely happening and other people around the league have noticed it, right? Because players talk. But why would, you see, players talk. So why would LeVar notice? The only way he could possibly really notice is if Lonzo was telling him this. And if Lonzo was telling him this, and then he's making it public knowledge, what organization is going to want to deal with this? What organization? Think about some of the best organizations that we have in sports. The Patriots, they don't say shit. Them guys literally don't say anything to the media. When the Giants was winning those years, when we had Kaufman, they didn't talk to the media. Right? They didn't talk to the media. The Yankees, they don't talk to the media. So when you look at it like that, and you take it under that type of microscope, you know what? The best teams in the leagues don't really divulge their personal team business to the media. Like, it's like pulling fingernails to try to get these guys to say anything of any consequence. You know who said the most and talked the most and said the least? Derek Jeter. You can have a full-blown conversation with Derek Jeter and not know more than you knew before going into the conversation about whatever the topic was that y'all was discussing. He's one of the best question answers ever. He doesn't tell you anything. And that's Derek Jeter. Teams don't want to deal with having their personal business out there in the world. They just don't. Just a little personal thing. I was dating this girl, very, very nice girl, wonderful girl. And she used to have an issue with me because she'll ask me questions and I would answer her questions based on what she asked me. But it wasn't because I was trying to hold anything back from her. It wasn't like I was like, oh man, I'm trying to be secretive. It had more to do with the fact of, if you ask me a question, I'm going to answer directly the thing that you asked me. Now, if you're trying to find out some other random stuff that has very little to do with the question that you actually asked me, and then I don't tell you, The other stuff that has nothing to do with what you actually asked me, but that's the stuff you was trying to find out and you don't find out, that's not my fault. I answered the question that you actually asked me. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to understand, like, this is the way teams deal. We don't want information out there that don't need to be out there. You understand what I'm saying? And if you're talking to somebody and they ask you a question and you don't really feel, you answered everything in the parameters of the question that they asked you, they don't then have to also disclose information that had nothing to do with the question. So now, when ESPN, for whatever their reason was, decided to go talk to Lavar Ball, you have to think it was for ratings. You have to think it's because they're trying to stir something up. I just don't see any other team in the NBA, given the opportunity, they're going to draft any of his sons, his other sons. I just don't see it. I don't think that they're good enough. Nobody's going to want to deal with this unless they just somehow become some kind of super breakout stars over there in Lithuania. I just don't see it happening. One of them was already playing in UNLV, and then he went across seas and decided he was going to, five-finger discount shit, and then then they decided, you know what, we have to give some kind of disciplinary action, and his father said, nope, disciplining my son ain't gonna happen. So that by itself leads me to believe that there's just gonna be teams that's just not gonna want to have to deal with a player who has no discipline. Everybody big ups this guy. A lot of people big ups this guy. Talk about how good of a father this guy is. Okay, there's things that he's done well. One of the most important things that a parent is supposed to, and don't get this confused. This is fact, what I'm about to say. One of the most important things that a parent is supposed to do for a child is to give them direction. That's one of the most important things. I grew up in the 80s. And in the 80s, you hear a lot of, like, there was just a lot of parents. And when I say I grew up in the 80s, I grew up in the 80s and the 90s. And during that time, there was just a lot of parents that they thought, as long as my kid reach 18 and they're alive, that means I'm a good parent. That's not good parenting. Like, that shouldn't even be a thing. Like, why you think your kid isn't going to reach 18? This is the freaking end of the 1990s. I could see if he was like in the 1940s. 1950s, I could see saying that it would have some kind of, I still wouldn't be on that side. Like, yeah, you're right. But I could see where being a colored person in America in the 1940s and your child reach 18 and you're just so happy. But this is 1990, 1980, 2000. Why shouldn't your child reach 19 years old? Like, what are you doing? What is your child doing? Where are they at? That's not the parameters for being a good parent. Your child survived. That should be a given. Anyway, that's part of like the slave mentality that they got, like, etched into a lot of our older generation, slave mentality. But the point being is, he's done some good things. He gave his sons a sense of direction. He gave them a talent, a skill. That's another very important thing. You're supposed to find out something you're supposed to cultivate something in your child so your child could be a successful adult. You're not supposed to, I think in his particular situation, one of the things that he's done, and this is just my opinion, is that he's so overbearing that his children just second fiddle. Like, everybody thinks Lonzo Ball is unselfish. I don't think he's unselfish. I think he's just a second fiddle dude. He's just he's not a star. He's not a star. Now, I think if you pair Lonzo Ball with a star or two, he's going to excel. Because I think he's just missing shots because of confidence. He got a janky jump shot, but I think it's confidence. I think being oppressed mentally for so many years of his life, that is just, he just not one of those I'm going to stand up for myself people. No, because that's what happens. When you oppress your child either becomes, I can't stand up for myself, or I'm going to be standing up for myself so much of the time that I'm going to cause negative things to happen in my life. Those are like the two things that's going to happen to your child. Seriously, that's like the two things that's going to happen. They're going to either be, you know, quick to go hide in the corner, or they're gonna be quick to fight. And it seems to me like his children seem to be quick to fight. Look, what happened in China? The other kid stole first. The other kid stole first. He decided he wanted to be a follower. At least that's how the story goes. And I believe it. I believe that's 100% what happened. Anyway, LaVar Ball is absolutely making it so that his other two sons will not be in the NBA. I can be wrong, but we'll check it. They're going to have to, I'm telling you, they're not going to get drafted. What's going to happen is they're going to have to go have some tryouts or something. Maybe one team might look at LaMelo. One team might look at him. Because I'm pretty sure that after he sees that Jello does not get drafted at all, he's going to go grind. And then he got like 2 years or something like that to be eligible. So he's going to grind. So he might get looked at. But I think they're done, yo. I think unless their father could change his mentality and his attitude, that this is just that they're just done. Look, even in the Bible, it says the sins of the father is visited on the child, something like those lines. It should read more like the sins of the parent. Don't get me confused. But it says in the Bible, it says the father. But it should read more like the sins of the parent. Because you got to understand. People love to think that whatever it is that they do, that they have reasoning for it. Oh, I did this because of that. I did that because of this. Just because you, as an individual, can say, oh, I did this because of that, or I did that because of this, that doesn't mean that those two things align. Some things are just excuses. You understand what I'm saying? Some things, like, sometimes people just make excuses to be evil. Sometimes people just make excuses to be nice. This might be a situation where Lonzo Ball is going to have a very, very, very difficult time. Because if it comes out that he actually did leak this information to his father, I can't see him getting any big contracts in the NBA. Period. No big contracts. I don't care how well he plays. Nobody's going to want to deal with this. Think about all the time. I don't think he's better than Stephen Marbury. I don't think he's better than any iteration of Stephon Marbury that we saw in the NBA. But Steph had to go across seas. Right? I don't think he's better than Beasley at all. Any iteration of Beasley. Beasley had to go across seas. So you got to look at it like that. Sometimes it's not about your talent or your skill. It's about whether people want to deal with all that other shit that come along with you. Anyway, leave your comments down below. I want to know what y'all guys think about this. Like, comment, subscribe. Join the notification gang. Hashtag Bronx Bombers. Let's get it. Hey, look, I love y'all. Keep each other safe. Try to be a help to your children. We have this terrible idea in our black communities, in our color communities in general, that the only type of love that we could give to our children is tough love. Tough love does not exist, y'all. Sometimes love is tough. All right? Don't get that confused. But tough love doesn't exist. If your whole entire idea of parenting is to make your child's life difficult, if it's to make it so that your child never gets anything at all easy, what you're really doing is you're kind of teaching your child that hard work doesn't pay off. I'll tell you a quick story. I knew a dude that when he was a teenager, he worked for his parent, his father. Father had a nice company. Father was a pretty decent businessman. And when he was a teenager, he'd go work for his father. I mean, he's a teenager now. He's like 14, 15, 16 years old, around that age. He'd go work for his father at his father's company. So he'll go work 8, 9 hours. His father will pay him $20. And he'll go work another day. He'll work 8, 9 hours. His father will pay him $20. This is in the 90s, y'all. Because in his father's mind, his father thought, oh yeah, I'm teaching my son hard work. But what he was really doing, he was breaking his son. Making his son think that hard work don't mean shit. Who want to go work 8 hours, 9 hours, wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, go work until 10 o'clock at night and get $20? $25. Who want to go do that? So we gotta be smart. You know, tough love doesn't exist, but sometimes love is tough. Anyway, that's all I got on this one. I love y'all. Keep each other safe. And please, hug y'all kids today. Say something affectionate to your kids today. Don't be a Lavar Ball. And don't be like homeboy's pops. That's all I got on this one. I love y'all. I'm out. If you like this video, please hit the like and subscribe button. If you would like to help dictate the direction that this channel takes, please leave a comment. All comments are appreciated, whether positive or negative. Thank you very much and enjoy your day. And remember, positive thoughts cause for positive things to happen. Let's get it.